As we head towards closure, the final segment of the broadcast this morning is going to be focused on an event that is taking place next week, which is on Wednesday, the 6th of December, the Call of Gaza conference and a fundraiser. And we are now going to be joined by Khalid Vawda, a social intifada. He's been an activist for more than 20 years, worked in Palestinian charity locally and abroad, conducted talks, interviews, educational programs on Palestine, also a life coach focused on personal development and a specialized dad program, the Super Dad Network. Super Dad Khalid Vawda, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Juma Mubarak to you, my brother.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair for having me. Juma Mubarak, and to the viewers and listeners.
Yes, clearly, Khalid, today again, the day of Jum'ah, and as we enjoy this blessed day of Jum'ah, of concern on the resumption of the attacks in Gaza, and we've seen it early in the morning, and we're not surprised that it has happened because Netanyahu has been baying for blood all the time. So we're not surprised that it has taken place, but we've seen from early this morning already drones and fighter jets hovering over Gaza, and we've already learned until a few minutes ago about 21 martyrs. And this is an area that you would be watching very, very closely as well before we talk about the Call of Gaza.
Yes, absolutely. Look, we expected the ceasefire to end at some point. And Hamas had requested an extension to the ceasefire. From what we're hearing from the media and from Hamas reports, they offered more of an exchange to Israel, but I think the PR has been a complete disaster for Israel here, because what they're getting is almost all of the hostages coming out, and the videos that are going out of the hostage exchange is actually showing, you think people are leaving friends behind when they're greeting the Mujahideen as they're leaving. The exchange has been very warm. It's been nothing like what Israel's been portraying to the world, where Hamas are rapists and they've been killing children and baking kids in ovens and beheading babies and all the usual nonsense that they've been peddling to the media. So they've even now stifled media interviews with the hostages, with the prisoners who've been released. And those who will speak eventually to the media are going to be curtailed in terms of what they can say, or they're going to be prepped rather, in terms of what they should be saying and what they shouldn't be saying. The public opinion globally has swung massively away from Israel, which normally controls the mainstream media narrative. And they need to now do damage control. And we know the war criminal Netanyahu and his warmongering cabinet are baying for blood. That's the only thing they can do, is they can drop more bombs on Gaza. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you're looking at it, it's difficult for us to see and observe and witness this. But there will be, as you've mentioned rightly, 21 shuhada already. It's the day of Jummah, and this is the difficult thing for Muslims around the world to observe. But be that as it may, we cannot remain silent. The Muslim communities around the world, the supporters, the non-Muslims cannot remain silent, and the work needs to continue.
Yes, and talking of the work that needs to continue, the Call of Gaza, a wonderful initiative, Alhamdulillah. And when you reached out to us here at Salam Media, you had our interest immediately, Alhamdulillah. And we are honored to be partnering with you, with Social Intifada, on this conference and fundraiser. So let's just talk about the thinking behind this Call of Gaza and this conference that is due to take place next Wednesday, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. So the idea behind the conference is twofold. One is to educate the public, whether people are watching online or whether people are in attendance, to provide a certain levels of awareness, and that's why there's a variety of speakers who can speak to different parts of the audience. We've got young Sheikh Muhammad Kala, who's absolutely brilliant from Polokwane. Everyone knows Maulana Ibrahim Musa with the Palestine Information Network, who's actively involved, one of our speakers. One of the other speakers is actually a Gaza resident who works and lives in South Africa. And he left Gaza just before the offensive on the 7th of October. So he's in touch with his family. There'll be some first-hand accounts. Maulana Abdurrahman Laili is no stranger to South African audiences. He'll also be one of the speakers. Obviously, you would be hosting, and we would be explaining a few concepts in terms of how people can join the Intifada socially and physically as well.
Well, obviously these are people that you've carefully chosen, and there's a lot that they could bring in terms of diversity, but also the various angles as far as the discussion is concerned. And what is important is, these are people that have been with it all the time. We followed people like Molana Ibrahim Musa, Sheikh Abu Muhammad Kala, all of them, people like yourselves as well, and everyone else. So I'm sure it's going to be a very, very interesting conference from an educational perspective, but also at the same time linking up with a fundraiser, which is absolutely critical because we've been talking earlier on. We spoke to Islamic Relief South Africa. We spoke to Shamima Kolya early on. She's from Australia and she's in Cairo right now in the dire situation that the people of Gaza faced, and it's not getting any easier. So, looking at it, from both angles, from an educational perspective, and also in terms of what we can do in terms of contributing financially towards this. It's going to add a lot of value to the audiences and people that will be attending physically and those that will be following the conference online as well, Khalid.
Absolutely. And fundraising, look, all the charities that are working for Palestine, may Allah reward every single one of them. The need is absolutely massive. And no single charity is going to manage by itself. The appeal to the public here is to contribute as much as you can, whichever charity you feel you have a good relationship with, that you trust. Please help and support all the charities because they're all doing fantastic work. The need on the ground is absolutely massive. And this is just the need on the ground currently is just for the basics. It's for food, it's for medical supplies, it's for water. It's not even talking about reconstruction, which is another level that's only going to take place, inshallah, once the bombing stops. That's going to involve governments. The amount of funds that are required there are in the billions of dollars. This is just to help the people who are on the ground, who are going through massive, massive challenges, to be able to put some food in their stomach. Some people are eating food just once a day, and those are even basics. The water system is completely destroyed. Alhamdulillah, though, I just saw something on one of the social media feeds yesterday, and it gives you a bit of optimism and hope. As Muslims, we always should be having optimism and hope in Allah. I saw a makeshift water gadget. That's what I can call it. It was done in somebody's home in Gaza, where they've put water. They've set up a fire. They've used piping. They're kind of steaming the water to have it cleansed so they can actually drink it. So people are being innovative, and I suppose when you're pushed into that situation, you do become creative. So it's not. It's encouraging to see this, but this should not be the norm. And it's our duty and our job and our responsibility to be able to support our brothers and sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our children in Gaza to return to somewhat of a normal life as possible.
Well, certainly, in fact, you talk of innovative, and just this morning, Khalid, I've seen them using cooking oil to power up their cars because of the lack of fuel. Now, that is the level of innovation that the people of Gaza and how resourceful they've actually been throughout this entire crisis that has been playing out. Khalid, just coming back to the conference taking place next week, Wednesday, and it's at the Marx Park Pavilion in Emmarentia.
That's correct. Inshallah, we're hoping to start at around 7 p.m. in the evening. Should run for about 2 to 2.5 hours, inshallah. The public is encouraged to attend. You just need to register. It's free of charge. Brothers and sisters, welcome. Please send the word out. Please come in your numbers. Come and take benefit. Come and share in the ajr, inshallah. When people gather for the pleasure of Allah, the angels make dua for them. We know from hadith. And it'll be an opportunity to interact with the charity who'll be there, ask any questions of them, and be able to donate directly to them. So no payments would be going to the Social Intifada. All payments would be going directly to the charities.
Well, that's Jazakallah for clarifying this, and also for people out of town, it is going to be streamed live.
That's correct. It's going to be streamed live on Salam Media's channel as well as Social Intifada on YouTube as well. So if you can't make it to Johannesburg, if you're not in Johannesburg, please do join online, join the support, and share the links and share the information so a lot of people can benefit from this, inshallah.
Well, we certainly will promote it as well, Khalid and Jazakallah. We're looking forward to the conference, me personally as well. Looking forward to being in such esteemed company and the esteemed guests, the speakers that will be there. And I'm sure it's going to add a lot of value. But I think more importantly, just to renew and to again provide us, to renew our commitment, because we need to do that all the time. We need to remind ourselves that this is going to be relentless. This is going to be non-stop in terms of our commitment and our dedication to the people of Palestine and Gaza in particular. So looking forward to the event, and Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah once again for extending this invite to myself and to the Salam Media team to be part and parcel of this event. And we will definitely promote it closer to time as well, ongoing here on Salam Media, inshallah, and through our social media networks as well, and also here on air on Salam Media. So inshallah, looking forward to that, Khalid, and hopefully it will be well attended. But more importantly, in terms of the outcomes, the education, the fundraiser, inshallah, we urge our people, we urge people to come in their numbers and also to dig deep in their pockets, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. And just to let the viewers and listeners know, you can reach us at socialintifada@gmail.com, quite an easy handle, or on our Instagram at socialintifada. It's quite easy handles to follow. Please do follow and drop in on there for more information. And we look forward to, inshallah. Look, lastly, if I may, people would be coming to the end of a busy year individually and for families, and it's normally the holiday season in South Africa. That's understandable. Gaza is not a holiday. I don't want to be blunt, but I have to. This is the stark reality for millions, 2.2 million people in occupied Gaza. There is no holiday there. So let's just keep that in mind as we're entering the so-called festive period, the December period, when we normally would be looking forward to a holiday or looking forward to spending loads of money, going abroad, whatever the case might be. Let's remember we have a responsibility to Gaza.
Well, certainly we will, and Jazakallah for that, for pointing that out as well. Have yourself a wonderful Jummah ahead, inshallah, as well. And Jazakallah, Allah Ta'ala accept your efforts, Allah reward your efforts, Khalid. And we thank you. We appreciate you taking time out talking to us here on Salam Media this morning.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The call of Gaza conference and fundraiser, just to reinforce, it is taking place on Wednesday, the 6th of December at Marks Park in Amarentia, and an esteemed panel of speakers with the likes of Sheikh Mohammed Kala, Islam Without Borders, Maulana Ibrahim Musa, Palestine Information Network, Khalid Vawda himself, Social Intifada, Muhammad Al Farah from Gaza Wings of Mercy, and Maulana Abdul Rahman Layli, the Al Talif Institute. So inshallah, looking forward to that event that is taking place next week on Wednesday. And talking of events, the fifth global conference is taking place this week as well at Kurtuba, and it's starting off on Sunday and Monday. And on social media, it's quite full up in terms of people wanting to register to attend that event as well. So we thought we would make mention of that. But for now, have yourselves a wonderful Jummah, inshallah. Enjoy the mercy and the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us not forget, recite abundant durood on our beloved Master Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The ulama encourage us to recite Surah Kahf. But more importantly, and most important at this point in time, was the resumption of the brutal airstrikes taking place this morning in Gaza. Friday, the day of dua. Let us raise our hands. There are special times when duas are accepted. Let us reach out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let us make dua for our brothers, our sisters in Palestine and in Gaza. And with that, I'm signing off. Once again, it's been an absolute pleasure being in the company of our listeners, our viewers on the various platforms, Salam Media. And until we meet again, from myself and the team, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.